Lovely.
Welcome, welcome, everybody. Good to see people coming on. Hola from Brazil. Yeah, do let us know. Hi, Gabby. Let us know where you're joining from if you are sort of not from the UK. It's good to know. We like to wave to people from the UK too. But yeah,
Yeah.
lovely to see you, Maria.
Lovely to see you, Gwen.
Yeah, thank you for joining me tonight. Let me just adjust this. Yeah, so. Okay, I'm just looking at the messages. Okay, yes.
Yes, I'm back in UK.
Yeah, okay, we can get back to that. So yeah, thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. My name is Gwen from My Spiritual Butterfly. So I'm a Reiki Master Teacher, Transformational Life Coach, and Meditation Teacher. And I'm joined tonight by the fabulous Maria Alfaro from Saraswati's Universe. I have to get it right.
Good.
And Maria, as well as being a Yin Yoga teacher, which is kind of going to be what we're going to be talking about tonight, she is also a Reiki Master teacher, one of my students. She is an authentic flow teacher, and she does sound healing massages as well. So, and I've had that, which is beautiful. Yeah. So welcome, Maria.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, so nice to be back, and my first intervention in UK is with you. It feels so right.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, it's lovely to have you here. You cut your hair.
I cut my hair. I'm a little bit tanner. It's nothing better than to come back to the roots and let, family and friends, recharge you with love and laughter. And it was
your
beautiful.
Your pictures look beautiful. I saw them. It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tonight, we wanted to talk a little bit about Yin Yoga. So, I mean, I do like a 10-minute yoga flow most days. I don't want to say every day, but most days, which kind of takes me through a kind of sun salutation, a little bit of strength in there as well. But it just, in those 10 minutes, it really does kind of free up my joints, my body, and releases the heaviness sometimes you feel. And if you're on the laptop all the time, or using the mouse, whatever it is, you get the frozen shoulder. It just gets rid of all of that. So I absolutely loved it. But I think it was during lockdown. I think it might have been. So which people are like, which lockdown? So maybe a couple of months ago that I did a Yin Yoga session with you. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't research it. I just trusted you. I know you always do wonderful things. And so, but I really liked what we did. It was very it was a lot slower. We spent more time in the stretches and it got deeper. But what was really lovely was, I think we did a stretch which was kind of like almost like a child pose, kind of fetal position, but we were stretching the leg in a particular position. And I just remember all the mental resistance I had to that stretch. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this stretch. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is as far as I can go, all of this. And then suddenly I just said, well, look, just let go, just relax and see what happens. And I was just able to sink a lot deeper into the stretch. And just in that moment, I kind of had a bit of an epiphany, kind of comparing it to life, just thinking, how many times do I kind of resist changes or pushing past that barrier a little bit because of my fears in life. And then when you just let go of wanting to control, and you just trust, everything just falls into place. So it kind of felt like that. So as well as doing the stretch and getting the physical stretch and going deeper with that, it kind of seemed to really shift something in me a little bit as well in that moment. So it was really, really beautiful. And so I had to kind of have you come on to my live, and so we can talk about it a little bit more, because it would be nice just to find out a bit more about Yin Yoga and its benefits, as well as sort of understanding about your journey. So yeah, it'd be great if, and obviously if people have questions, they can put that in the comments as well, and we can answer those at the end. So yeah. But yes, so in terms of Yin Yoga, can you just let us know what Yin Yoga is and how it differs from other forms of yoga?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say that I was getting good bumps when you were telling your experience and your journey through the class, and it was beautiful. And this was my reason to start teaching, because Yin is different so we have two kind of yogas, Yin and Yang. So the Yin energy, as we know, is the calmer energy of our body, and the Yang yoga is the more dynamic flow, of the one you practice in the morning. A vinyasa, hatha, authentic flow yoga. Yin is coming from the root of hatha, So the classical hatha yoga, we hold poses for 5 to 6 breaths, but Yin goes a little bit deeper and is practiced on the mat. Most of the postures are practiced on the floor, and we practice Yin, and we hold the pose for about 3 to 6 minutes. Depends of your resistance that you meet, or your flexibility, or just your state of body and mind that day. Every day is different. Yin is different as well because it's slower and more meditative practice that while you are in the pose, in the breath, in the natural breath of your body, you are meditating. So you face it, that kind of revelations and epiphanies that you have, and before the resistance, and then you let go of things. Because Yin Yoga is based and associated with the philosophy of the traditional Chinese medicine, of the main system of the meridians. So Yin Yoga works in the connective tissues of our bodies and our joints, especially in the fascia. For who doesn't know who is the fascia, is a system. I call it the inner skin. So it's like a skin that is surrounding and holding the internal organs, the bones, the muscles, and this skin has nerves. And then through fascia, in the fascia we accumulate the emotions, the tidiness, the stiffness of the muscles of the joints. So it's a very deep practice that is very accessible for all the bodies. And also my classes, so I teach 2 classes of Yin and mindfulness, and then embodied Yin, is associated with the 5 elements, with the circle of the 5 elements of the Chinese medicine, of the fire, and the connection of all the organs of your body with the Yin energy and the Yang energy. And it's a beautiful practice.
Yeah, it sounds like, because I always associate the yin and yang. So I associate yin with the feminine, yang with the masculine. But I sort of, is it just for women, or is it for...
No, it's for everyone. It's for everyone. And yes, we associate the yin to the feminine and the yang to the masculine, because our body is in the Chinese medicine and in the yogic tradition, in the Hindu tradition, our body is split in 2 sides. And all the nadis and what we call it the major chakra system is connected with the right side, which is our yang, the sun, the masculine energy, and the strongest energy, the fire. And then we have the left side of our body, which is connected with the yin, with the more calm, with the moon. And that's why the feminine is connected with the moon, and the sun is connected with the yang. But it's for everybody, and you don't need to be an experienced yogic. I'm not an experienced. You don't need to be an athletic body. You can practice yin just as far as your body and your mind and your heart tell you to go that day. It's not about the perfection of the posture on the pose. Is the surrender to the pose, is the present moment, is how far you can go in your practice.
That's amazing. So I think a lot of people who haven't tried yoga, we see all these amazing posts with people in all these contorted positions, super slim, doing these things, and we're like, okay, is that yoga? That's probably not for me. So it's a shame that people don't get to sort of see that side of it and understand that it goes a lot deeper than that, and it is more a spiritual practice, as you say, as opposed to just an exercise or an extreme sport sometimes looks like.
For me, that is one of my missions as a yoga teacher. I know an athletic body, a normal human body that goes through phases in life, through lockdown, through moments of overeating, moments of not eating, and I practice yoga, Yin Yoga and Yang Yoga, just on the way I can. And sometimes I wish to do that kind of inversion, but that is not yoga about. Yoga is the journey with the self and with the body. and it's training the mind, the body, to train the mind and connect the mind, the body, and the soul, everything.
Wonderful.
And that is my vision of yoga, and I think is the true vision, no, for us. And that is what I wish that many people, more, that kind of people, and that is what I try to reflect on my profile. That doesn't matter what body it is yoga is for everyone. Is just if you want to be with self and being silent, because this is what it's Yin about. It's about being in silent and listening to you. That is not easy every day.
Yeah, no, definitely. Wonderful. So in terms of your journey to Yin Yoga, can you tell us a little bit about that and how it helped you spiritually, emotionally?
So I was very lucky to have my first practice with one of the teachers is based in London, and I was reflecting in my journey in Yin Yoga these days before our chat, and I remember my first class of yoga, Yin Yoga. I was so uncomfortable with myself and said, "What I'm doing this? How I can do this? Why I have to be in silent? But why are you asking me this?" All those voices were in my head, and I was like, "Where is this? Finish it! I want to get out of here." And then I didn't come back after 2 weeks after, and I said, I'm going to try it again. And then I came back, and I have so much pain, physical pain and emotional pain, because I felt that release and that breakthrough of all my awareness coming into surface of what it was there to see and to heal. And then I didn't come back again in a month. And then I said, no, I have to come back, because actually this is something that is what I need, because I'm meeting that resistance. And then it's how slowly I fall in love with the practice and with the breakthroughs and the highs and lows. And I start to find peace after the practice and the release. And obviously it came in a moment of my time that I was awakening to my true path of teaching. And then in 2020, in January 2020, I took my training here in London. And then everything happened, all the pandemic happened. I started to teach online, and I fall in love seeing my community of students finding peace and calm, because that is what I tend to do in my classes, to maybe push you farther, but finding the inner peace afterwards, after the practice.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. So in terms of, say, for example, how you said that it's suitable for everybody. So if somebody comes to you and they're not very flexible, maybe they're a little bit older, sort of like, my age or whatever it might be. So how would that person, what can they expect from your class?
My class, first of all, in Yin Yoga, we use cushion pillows. We use everything we have, blankets, a cozy mat. I always ask of my students, make yourself cozy, give yourself a lot of space to claim that space inside you, to open your heart. And I always guide for people who is less advanced or who has more difficulty to maybe go deeper, because as I said, it's not about how deep you go or how good you do the pose. It's about the attitude that you put and the openness that you put in to listen to you. So it's very easy. It has no age, and it has no color, weight, or skin. Like, it's up to for everyone. Yin is very easy to practice, and my classes are in different level, but I always give the options. And it's as simple as I said in my class: whenever you're ready to come out of the pose, just go and lie down and experience how far you have come. And so it's very easy, and the people who has come to my class has said to me that it's very nourishing, and motherly, that I like to hold the space and create this net so everyone can find themselves and be themselves.
Yeah. I think I remember that about it as well, because it's the first time I've done an exercise class live online. The first time.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I think I set my scene in the room. I turned the lights down. I lit my candles. I did my Palo Santo. Everyone knows I love that. And I got all the cushions and the blankets, and you know, I had you on my laptop in front, and it just felt really lovely because it was in my own environment, my own surroundings. But
Yeah.
you were there live. You could obviously see us. You'd see what we were doing. But it was really nice, and I did feel very nurtured with all the, and very safe, the cushions and the blankets. It was like, oh, this is lovely. And but
Yeah.
combining that with a stretch, and as you said, just sitting with it for a bit longer and not feeling rushed, and it felt wonderful. It was really nice to do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I also like to give some, some to share some wisdom on the chakras or the connection of the meridians. I normally fill my classes with one element, one chakra, the
okay.
sun, the moon, and then we do a short mindfulness meditation at the end. It can be a body scan, or it can be a journey to nature. Depend of the day, always depend of the day.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
really wonderful to do. Yeah. So in terms of just highlighting again the benefits that people can get from this, you know, and how I know you said that your clients say
Mm-hmm.
that or your students say it's really nurturing and nourishing. But what other benefits can people receive from if they were to practice Yin Yoga regularly? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think regularly is regularly once a week or every day, but you can tell us about that and what they can expect
Yin can
to
be
do.
practiced every day because you can even take just two poses just before to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
A deep child pose is very good before to go to sleep. Straight in your bed with your
Mm-hmm.
pillow, and that can take 5 to 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And it can be practiced every day. If it's a long practice that it used to be an hour, my classes are regularly 75 minutes to add the meditation there. Depends of other practice that you have, because it's always good to keep the harmony of a jump practice or cardio or yoga or
Mm-hmm.
swimming. You can practice 2 or 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for runners after a long run to come home and do couple of practice of yin, because
Yeah.
it's gonna give to your joint that nurture is that you need after running, because running is can be tough into your
Yeah.
knees, into your joints. And it's good for swimmers as well, and for
Mm-hmm.
boxers. I used to box, and then my gym practice after boxing. Yeah, I used to
Wow.
box. I
I'm listening
know it's not
then.
very me, but actually it's really good to burn adrenaline.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
miss it actually.
Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good for them, because as we have postures and running, we also keep a very straight firm postures. The gym practice
Mm-hmm.
is very beneficial. And what are the benefits? So you have the physical benefits of increase and improve your blood pressure, increase the flexibility as well,
Mm-hmm.
the mobility in your joints as well,
Mm-hmm.
and to release the fascia that we were talking about. So to release all the pressure of our fascia, what I call it the inner skin, or the net that is helping us to keep all together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also really good to release the stress and anxiety, insomnia. I have private clients who has come to me for healing in Reiki, but I actually has advised them as well to posture of yin before to sleep. So it can help with panic attack and high anxiety,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and and also spiritually and mentally, because of the meditation that you practice at the beginning and or at the end, or both.
Mm-hmm.
It really ground yourself in your
Mm-hmm.
heart and really ground your energies in there, because it's also practice on the floor. So
Yeah.
we are rooted to mama earth, and that
Yeah.
is always beneficial for us. in
Yeah,
all the ways
definitely,
possible.
definitely.
Yeah.
And in terms of the emotional release, are you able to speak a little bit more on that?
Yeah.
You know, people are holding maybe some, not necessarily trauma, but deep emotions
Yeah.
in the body. We know a lot of the time we can hold that even at a cellular level. How can the Yin Yoga help us to, whether it's sitting with it or bringing it up or healing it, how does that help us?
Yeah, it really helped us because as we say, we target and I see my classes in one. So for example, the liver is connected with the filter of, on how we process changes. So we meet resistance. The heart, the lungs is with the grief. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking always based on the Chinese medicine,
Yeah.
no, and the traditional Chinese medicine. So
Mm-hmm.
when we practice postures to open the heart, to open, we are compressing the meridians in the arms, and that's make after the compression come the release of the
Mm-hmm.
chi, and
Oh,
it balance, and it's how the emotion get released as well,
yeah.
because all the emotions are stored in our body. And when we are babies, we listen to babies crying and sucking, and how that is how they release. But when we comes to an adult life, and because we are at work or we are in the street, we are not able to straight away release that emotion, and it
Mm-hmm.
got stored. It got stored in our body.
Yeah.
So each emotion is related to one meridian, to one organ. The
Mm-hmm.
split as well is the one to accumulate the worries and whatever the heart is
Mm-hmm.
not able to release. So we have a posture for that.
Yeah.
And and the thing is that you release without even knowing. I have students that has been crying there because you just have been in silence with yourself. Only this being in silence with yourself
Mm-hmm.
is a form of emotional release already,
Mm-hmm.
because you hold in a space to listen to your inner voice and to
Yeah.
your heart or whatever is there. So
Yeah.
sitting with it and just being present is one of the simple ways that we can. And then Yin, always, because it's safe, because you feel cozy and you are in your blanket, and
Um,
so you feel so safe in your body, in your breath. I'm getting good
mhm.
vibes at saying this, that that is how we release and how the tears come out. And
Mm.
that is my passion. That is why when you told me, are you comfortable talking about emotional release, and I say, that is my reason to
That's my
teach.
thing.
That is my thing.
Yeah.
Emotions are my thing. Whoever
Yeah.
knows me knows that emotions are my thing.
Yeah.
And this is my passion to teach, because I know the struggles to cope with emotion and to deal and process the emotions. And I know the benefits to practice as well, to deal
Mm-hmm.
in my skin. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It makes sense. Yeah. Being able to kind of sit, as you say, of yourself, and you become the observer. You're listening and seeing what comes up. So, as you said,
yeah,
prior to that, everything was suppressed and not seen, and so it does need to come to the surface and be received. But because you're in this, as you say, safe space, this space of peace, you know, you just allow it to come through, but you do
yes,
become the observer as opposed to diving into the emotion and becoming the emotion. You're just
yes,
almost watching it, listening to it, and it comes up and through without, you
yeah.
know, too much kind of turmoil. So
And
yeah.
all the emotions has a wave, no, has a
Mm-hmm.
peak.
Mm-hmm.
They start, they rise up, and then
Yeah.
goes down.
Mm-hmm.
And as the practice is longer and we are just in a natural breath, we don't need to think. In the jump practice, we practice a certain breath work, a
Mm-hmm.
certain breath practice.
Mm.
But you just there, you just breathe, you close your eyes, you just look inwards, and then the emotion in that time, you go through that phases in a shorter time, and you see the release and you feel the release. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes doesn't come in the moment, but
Mm-hmm.
I assure you that it's gonna come
It
after
will
for
come.
sure. It will come.
It will
They
hit you.
always
You're
come.
shopping in Sainsbury's.
And it's a blessing that they come. And that is
Yeah.
one of the things that I want to really come across in my, in my journey, that emotions is a blessing, that we are not weak to show tears. We are not weak to show emotions. It's the opposite. Unfortunately, this society bring us to think that, but no, that feeling emotions, being in your heart is the most beautiful state we could all be.
Yeah.
The world will be more beautiful if we will be all in our hearts, right?
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. Completely
Yeah,
agree. And it's nice, and
yeah,
there are modalities that kind of help you to kind of do that in a safe way, in a nice way. Then you're able to recognize that as you go through your daily life, you're able to, as you say, just sort of do that same thing, observe your emotion, not become
yeah,
and get sort of lost in it, and but just honor it. Yeah, just kind of honoring it, and then
exactly.
soothing yourself and sort of moving up from there. So yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
wonderful. It's a great practice. Wonderful, brilliant. Is there anything else that we need to know about Yin Yoga, Maria?
Um, I will recommend to
Mm-hmm.
everyone to try Yin in their own way,
Mm.
and also be safe when it's practiced and be guided by a professional,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously we're going into deep, and as we say, release. So find everyone is welcome to come pay, but find otherwise a good professional that is gonna guide you. And anything else about Yin? I think that's it really. That
Yeah.
I, I think is really open. I think we have really touched all the essential and
Yeah.
beautiful things.
Yeah,
So
we've covered
yeah,
some. I think for me, I wanted people to know that it existed, what it is, so when they see it, or if they want to get in touch with you, they can do that.
yeah,
But to know that when they do that, they're not going to be, I mean, you would never do this anyway, but they're not going to be shamed in any way or body shame. A lot of people avoid
no,
yoga because they think there's going to be people there going to be so advanced and they're not even going to be able to touch their toes or whatever it might be. And it isn't about that. And it is nice that it's a
it's
healing
not.
practice.
It's not about the fashion leggings and the no, the opposite. I advise my people, if they want to practice in pajama. Like,
Yeah,
because you are at home. I haven't
yeah.
got to practice teach in any studio at the moment. I'm doing or private classes or on online group classes,
Mm-hmm.
and and that is another thing that I face myself when I start, like oh my god, I'm ashamed of my body, I'm not a yogi girl, or no,
Mm,
it's the opposite. Please, let's stop that. Let's stop that
yeah,
perception of
yeah,
yoga that needs to be, flexible and needs to be athletic, and no, it's the opposite.
yeah, exactly,
It's the
exactly.
opposite.
Literally, every
Everybody.
body is sacred
Yeah.
and is spirit
And
in
it's
this kind of,
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful, and this kind of, this 3D form, we're all, it's all
Yeah.
spirit manifested. So it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So if people wanted to join you for Yin Yoga, how can they get hold of you, Maria? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can book for a clarity call with me, 30 minutes free clarity call for any private classes. I'm putting in writing, and I'm gonna launch a project of a membership to receive Yin Yoga, Yang Yoga, and then some healing by the
Mm-hmm.
month.
Mm-hmm.
So you will get each week one modality to complement, and you will have the classes
Mm-hmm.
to for yourself.
Yeah.
And also every month I do a karma yoga class, which is karma is something that you do for the community
Oh,
every first Wednesday of the month. I
lovely.
have the Eventbrite event, or just sign in through my link in my bio
Mm-hmm.
in Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can just contact me in Instagram and say, hey, I want to hear more about it. I would like
Yeah.
to practice it anyway. I'm very flexible to adjust to the people and share the practice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Maria.
Thank
It
you,
was
you.
lovely to speak to you. It was really refreshing. Such a
Yeah,
beautiful soul. So it's always nice to, kind of hear more about what you're doing and then have that shared with everyone that might be listening. But it's just great, as you say, just to have a different perspective on yoga and just encourage people to give it a try, you know, try everything and just give it a go, and see how they feel. But they will be blessed with a beautiful teacher to guide them, which is wonderful.
Thank you.
Cares about them. So that's the important thing. You know you're going to be held. So yeah, highly recommend it. It's beautiful. Shall we see? Does anyone have any questions at all? I'm not sure. There were some.
Margie is here as well.
Do we have to go all the way back to the beginning? If you see one before I do, then absolutely
okay.
Fine. But if not, just please tap in comments if you have a question.
Yeah. I also want to say that soon enough, for next month in August, I'm going to start to teach. I'm going to come back to my regular classes online as well for group, but I'm going to do I want to do 2 classes a month. So before it was once every Wednesday, but now I'm going to do 2 classes a month for a group, and it's very accessible price. And also, if someone is in a situation that cannot join, please don't let yourself stop for that. It's always a way. I'm open to donations only or swaps, but I want everyone who feel the call to practice to come to my class.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, because I think you got a question from your friend. Is it Gloria?
Yes.
Maria, are you in the UK? She said, now I didn't see any availability of your in-person sessions. So I guess if she can, should she DM you? Should she slide into your DMs?
Yes, DM to me, Gloria. I will also contact you. Yeah, I haven't opened my abilities yet because I'm still in my quarantine because I come back from Spain.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, next week I will be open for business again.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's brilliant. We got Margaret saying, Vanda, or Lavanda, you look amazing. But yeah.
Thank you, Margie.
Okay, Maria's class is incredible. You have to try. That's from, is that
Fran is one of my students.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, Reiki student. She just graduated in advance Sunday.
Yeah.
She's such a pro. Yeah.
And Margaret's asking, do you have a certain amount of attendees that you, is there a maximum?
When it's online, no, I don't have. I don't have certain amounts of, because online also Zoom, I work with Zoom, and Zoom allow us to bring more people together. And when it's private or small groups, it's in my head. I'm looking for a view here in Clapham Jackson to start to rent a room and start teaching in person, because I'm dying to teach in person. I'm so looking forward to that. So I will have a little bit more limitation, but no at the moment. And I also do work monthly or bi-monthly workshops as well.
Wonderful. So they can look out for that. Brilliant. And I'm sure that venue will manifest, the perfect venue will manifest for you.
Yes, I'm sure it will.
Oh, so yeah, Jackie's saying beautiful. We'll definitely look forward to trying your class, Maria.
Thank you, Jackie. Dear me, I would love to meet you.
Lovely. But yeah, do check out Maria's. She says bio. Some people say, what's a bio profile?
Bio.
Some people say that. Usually the older ones. Young ones know what it is. We're hip, us young ones. But yeah, just check out Maria's profile or bio, and you'll see the link, and you'll see everything that she does behind that link. So you can definitely connect with her, book a clarity call. I think you've even got a wonderful freebie on chakras. So there's so much there. So do check it out, and obviously follow her as well. But yes, wonderful, Maria. Thank you so much, my darling.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Thank you, everyone. And I want to thank you, Wen, personally, to bring and expose this practice and bring me into it. And, you know, I'm so grateful for you for being my journey and being my master, because you are a beautiful soul, compassive. I know you have difficulties to take compliments, so now you cannot escape, woman. And I'm so grateful to the universe to bring this butterfly to me. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my darling. It's wonderful to have you in my life. Wow, such a blessing.
Yes.
But have a wonderful evening, and
You
we'll be
too.
in touch. But everyone, have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. I always forget how to end it. Yeah, okay.